the guy. I'm the guy. Now, you see, a woman would never think to say that unless she understood Mars and Venus. Because imagine I came home from a trip, my wife was all soaking her fingers in salt water, and she was all tired and exhausted and overwhelmed with life and so forth, and I just had a great trip, and I come home, I say, wow, honey, you look really tired and overwhelmed. I sure am glad I don't have your job. I'm in the doghouse. You see how the same phrase has the opposite effect. My wife knows if I come home tired, exhausted, she doesn't like dwell on that. She just says, well, I had a great time. You can't believe what happened for me. I went out, I bought this dress. Look at this dress. She like shows me the dress. And I notice my mood is changing. Because I may have failed that week, but I bought that dress. I put that smile on her face. See, whenever a woman's happy, it brings a man up. When a man's happy, it does little for a woman. Because see, her world of being is not based upon taking credit for his happiness. That's not what makes her feel good. She doesn't go bragging, I made my husband happy, made my husband happy, made my husband happy. You know what women brag about? He made me happy. That's what women talk about. Oh, he did this for me. Oh, he did this for me. He noticed I got my hair cut. By the way, I failed on that one this week, but I'll usually win that point. One of Bonnie's girlfriends, we'd go for a walk on Sunday with another couple, and the couple we came in, and the woman said to Bonnie right away, she goes, oh, you got your hair cut, sister, you look great. I went, oh yeah, honey, your hair looks great. She goes, nah, too late for you. It's a whole thing about women, you know. It's not always about content, men. It's feeling, it's attention, it's being noticing things. Noticing things makes women really happy. And it took a long time for me to figure out. I'm still not A+ at it, but I'll get my A+s from time to time. But she'll say to me on like Monday, she'll say, I'm going to get my hair cut on Thursday. And I used to wonder for the longest time, why does she tell me? Who cares? I mean, I don't go around saying to my friends, hey, I'm going to get my hair cut this Thursday. I mean, just don't do that. So it took a long time. These things would hit me. I go, why is she telling me this? You know, I go, oh, good to know. Yeah. But then I was realizing the reason she's telling me is so that on Thursday I'm prepared to notice she got her hair cut. Because it makes a world of difference. If she comes home and says, what do you think of my haircut? It means nothing to her. I say, oh, looks good, you look great. That means nothing, no points, nothing. But if she comes home and you go, oh, you got your haircut, you just score 1,000 points right there. It's like a world of difference, men, if you do something without her having to ask. And men don't understand that. You know, if I want to get somebody to compliment my hair, they can say, oh, your hair looks great. I go, do you think my hair looks good? They go, yeah, it looks great. Okay, fine. But we men, we have certain areas, certain zones where we can relate to this. Not as much as for women. But we have certain places, and I want to give you an example of that. Imagine you're doing some kind of performance, whatever it might be. You're doing something on stage or on a track or wherever. And you're running your marathon or whatever. Anything, you're doing something, and when you complete it, the audience spontaneously stands up and applauds you. Does that feel great or what? As opposed to somebody coming out and saying, and now let's thank John for a great talk. It's a world of difference. Spontaneity, when somebody spontaneously does something, it means so much more. So here is a husband and wife. Man loves the wife. But see, the problem is we men have this gene. It's this Martian gene. Men are from Mars. And this gene says, never do anything you don't have to do. That's the efficiency gene. See, it's what everything's about for men. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. It's not that women aren't efficient. They can be or they cannot be. It's their choice. Men's genes tell them it's the imperative. Never do anything you don't have to do. Now, we call it efficiency on Mars. On Venus, they call it lazy. And they often misinterpret it as uncaring. But it's not either of those two things. It's the way men are designed. Is that we want to get from point A to point B in the shortest possible route. That's it. For women, they can go one day short, another day long, another day, let's wander over here. Let's go over here. That's interesting, new and different. Why not try that? To them, it's not always about the efficient mode. Their lives, their whole perspective is different. And so what happens with men is we do the efficient thing. We want to know the right way to do something. And so one of the big complaints women often have about men is he always has to be right. Well, he does. Because that's the most efficient thing. It's his gene that says, do what you have to do. Whereas women over there going, why isn't he doing things for me? This is the man that will give his life for her if it's necessary, and he could save his life. There's a few qualifications in there. But there's not a man in this world who loves his partner that wouldn't give his life for her if it would save her life. Now, he wouldn't give his life if it was a waste. Some would, but generally speaking, it's if I can help her, I would do it. If it was required, I would do it. So here's this man who only does what he has to do. So in the beginning, when he's dating you, he knows, I have to communicate to you that you're special, that you're important, that I love you, that I think you're beautiful, that you're interesting to me, that I want to have a relationship with you, that you're the number one person I want to have a relationship, that I have special feelings for you that I don't have for anybody else. So in the beginning of a relationship, he knows he has to communicate that. So he does. Statistically, men talk more on the third date than any other time in the relationship. That's about the time when he's sizing up the situation, and he's letting you know some of his feelings and where he wants to go with this thing. It's almost like I introduced myself to you. Hi, I'm John Gray. I've communicated that. Now, let's say we're in a relationship. Do I remind you every time I see you? Hi, it's me, John Gray. No, I don't have to, because you should know. I've told you that. Well, that's the way men think about dating. I did all that dating stuff. You should know I like you. Why do I have to do it anymore? See, this is the Martian mentality. Men don't know if you want a happy woman, you have to do the dating stuff. There never comes a day when you don't have to do it if you want this to be a happy woman. If you want to be the one who can take credit for some of that happiness, you have to do the little stuff. See, that's what dating is. Dating is the little stuff. Like I know, oh, you look great tonight. Oh, I like those earrings. Oh, I love your hair this way. It's changed, it's different. See, that's the little stuff. See, it all comes down to scoring points. And women score points differently from men. Men, we know how we score points. Men are very conscious of scoring points, by the way. Women are not so conscious of it, but they do it all the time in relationships. Men score points in life all the time. It's like, by the car you drive is how many points you've scored. See, men are looking at their income, their job position, and all those things. So if you work for a company, if you make the company a lot of money, you get a big reward, right? That's a lot of points. If you work for a company, you do a job that makes a little money, you get a little points. That's the way men are always thinking. Do big things, get more points. Do little things, get little points. If you sit on the bench, you're a good supporter on the team, but you don't get the glory. You run the touchdown, you get the glory. So men are going, I want to run the touchdown. Big stuff gets big points. That's the way men think. So they assume women think that way. Women don't think that way. They can relate to that. They can relate to everything I say about Mars. But they have got other genes. They got other hormones. Their brains are different. It's a whole different world that women live in. The big stuff is not more important than the little stuff. It's still important, but it's not more important than the little stuff. And if you take away the little stuff, you're losing points every day. And let me explain how that works. It's the Venusian scoring system. On Venus, and I heard this as a little boy. I didn't buy it. My mother said, now remember, it's not the present that counts, it's the thought that counts. The thought that counts, the thought's nothing. I want the actual thing. But on Venus, the thought is just as important as the present. The wrapping is just as important as the present. The card is more important than the present. If I just go get the present, I buy an expensive present for my children. I have 3 daughters, wife, female dog, female rabbit, the whole kabang. Venus surrounds me. I bring them a present. I figure I'm getting a great expensive present. That ought to be enough. No. It's the wrapping that they get all excited about. It's the card. Where's the card? Where's the ribbon? Where's the fluff on the ribbon? You got to make the ribbons go like this. All those details. The big talk of town at holiday time at my house is, I wrapped the presents. He wrapped the present. You wrapped the present. He wrapped the present. Who wrapped this present? I wrapped the present. It's like nobody's talking about what I bought for them. So what happens is that men give a lot of points for something big and little points for